I can't say that I told you so feels good, you know? But like, it does help a little bit. You know, it makes me feel a little bit better when I say it. You know what I'm saying? So, Hurlibus has reported 5.6 million US dollars loss in just quarter three. In just quarter three. This comes after they removed their top Black Desert partner 2 days ago. They've already lost $5.6 million, guys. I'm just kidding. But seriously, quarter three by itself, they lost 5.6 million. It gets better, guys. Hold on. It just keeps getting better and better. The Korean game maker Perlibis said Tuesday it has shifted to a loss in the third quarter of a year early on with sluggish sales. Net loss for July to September period came at 7.8 billion Korean won, or 5.6 million US dollars, compared to the profit of 14.8 billion a year ago. So guys, I want you to wrap your head around this. You're the reason you got me in a video last week. You're the reason I uninstalled it yesterday. Wait, why did you uninstall it yesterday? Because of me. I haven't even made Doomer content lately. Wait, I haven't even been making Doomer content lately. How can you possibly be uninstalling because of me? I put out a gear guide. What are we talking about? God damn it. Like, it's not even my fault. You don't blame that on me. You quit because of yourself. All right. So what's the crazy thing about this, guys, is 7.8 billion won. 5.86. So they've lost $5.6 million in this quarter. Last year, in the same quarter, they made almost 10.5 million US dollars. This year, instead of making 10.5 million US dollars, they lost 5.6 million. That's a gap discrepancy of over $15 million. $15 million compared to last year in the same quarter. Literally insane. Anyway, they compared to a net profit of 14.8 billion won a year ago. The company said in its regulatory filing, it also swung an operating cost, or operating loss, rather, of 9.2 billion. Oh my God. So an operating loss of 9.2 billion won, which should be something like 6.5-ish million US dollars, roughly $6 million, a little over 6 million US dollars in operating loss as well, compared to a profit of 2.1 billion last year. Yeah, so last year they gained $1 million US dollars. This year they lost over 6 in operating costs. And this is on top of their net profit being down horrendously. Operation costs for doing what? They changed to central servers, and then they haven't made any of their money back. Players, that means that players are playing the game and not spending money. And so if you log into BDO and don't spend any money on the game, you're unironically costing them money, because they have to upkeep the server for you. Like they're running the servers for you, and they're losing money on you. Should we be celebrating that? We're not celebrating that. What are we talking about? And sales decreased by 6.4% on year to 79.5 billion won. Yep. The company said revenue from its flagship massive multiplayer online role-playing game, Black Desert, dropped 21% to 54 billion won, while sales of the spaceship game Eve actually gained 28% to 20.5 billion won. By region, North America and Europe accounted for 56% of the total sales. Big shocker there. While Asia took up 24% and South Korea took up 20% as well. Perlibis, here we go, this is so good. Perlibis said it plans to make new updates in Black Desert, the Eve series, and release a new game title for PC and consoles, Crimson Desert, to improve sales. Okay, So now let's talk about this. Let's unpack this a little bit. Are we celebrating this? No. Obviously, this is bad. But also, did we not tell them so? Okay, it does feel a little a little vindicating. You know what I mean? Like, the players that are unhappy with BDO, of which is about 50 to 60% of their player base, right? Compared to last year at the same time, are probably going to feel really vindicating hearing these numbers. Like, look at these numbers, guys. Look at these numbers. A year ago, in the same month, 28,500 peak. This month, in the same month, we're looking at 13.7 peak. Okay, that's pretty rough. Okay, that's less than 50%. That's like 45% of the players that we had last year. And most of those players left because of their changes to Black Desert Online. It's just the truth. And like, players are going to feel really vindicated about seeing them lose a tremendous amount of money, when the simple fact of the matter is, it's not a good thing that Pearl Abyss is losing money. Necessarily. It's a good thing that them losing money means that they're planning on making new updates for Black Desert. So if this is what it takes to get you to listen, then okay, now we know how to get you to listen. Because for those of you that don't know, Choice and Divios got flown to Pearl Abyss headquarters in North America, and it's on some super secret mission. I'm telling you, that's one of two things. As someone that's been flown to the NA Pearl Abyss headquarters 4 to 5 times, they only fly you out for 2 reasons. One, you're participating in some event that they're trying to put on. Or 2, they desperately need your feedback on something. And that's really all there is to it. Okay. So like, you can't tell me that they fly Choice and Divios out after reporting over a 25 or a 20% decrease in revenue, right? Losing $5.6 million in just this quarter. In just this quarter, compared to a profit last year on the same quarter. So they fly out Choice and Divios, very likely to speak to the developers on some sort of conference call about the game, because their game is hemorrhaging, guys. Let's be honest. Do we want to see Pearl Abyss do poorly? No. But if that's what it takes to get the game back on track, then I think that every player can get on board with that sentiment. If that's what it takes, then it. You know what I mean? And like, here's what I think is realistically going to happen with Choice and Divios. I think that if they did fly them out to give feedback about the game.
Ray Charles just resubscribed for 14 months. It's fine, they can just come out with an outfit that's 97% naked and they'll make it back Kipo.
Ray, I mean this in the sincerest way possible. For you, every outfit is basically naked because you have no eyes. You complete moron. Also, welcome back for 14 months. I love you. You're one of my favorite chatters. Never change. Okay. I think that if they did fly Choice and Divios out to give feedback about the game, this is not the first time that this has happened. Believe it or not, guys, they've asked my opinions when flying out as well. They've sat me down in a roundtable discussion and asked me directly what I thought would improve the game and my state of the game, etc. This was in years past. And I'm telling you that they said that feedback made it directly to the developers' ears. And nothing happened. Okay, so if they did fly Choice and Divios out, it's a PR stunt. If they flew Choice and Divios out for literally the purpose of giving feedback, it is literally just a PR stunt. Mainly because they've done this before and not listened to anyone. They need to send their devs and staff to the Blizzard headquarters, and they can learn how to not be stubborn and listen, because Blizzard learned it the hard way. Well, yeah, but we also don't want them copying Blizzard, because we don't necessarily want them to become super sexist, right? Like, we don't need like a lawsuit on our hands here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they already said that, like, guys, we were over sexualizing our male characters. Our next male outfit's gonna have a shirt on it. By the way, here's the next bikini outfit for women, which I thought was incredibly based. We don't want them being sued. They're safe. You know what I mean? That being said, I really do think that they probably flew Choice and Divios out to give some sort of feedback about the game in some capacity. And I don't think that they're going to listen at all. Mainly because They have a track record for not listening to anyone when they fly them out. It's just the truth. And again, I think that they're desperate, guys. They are. You don't fly out 2 of your top partners for feedback, and I also think you don't fly them out if you're not desperate. Okay. I also think that Choice, Divios, myself, Frosty, Huntler, Norelio, Zero, J-Kun, Blonde Bear, everyone has given feedback about this game over the last 4 to 6 months. Like, all of it was meaningful and should have been taken seriously. Okay. You can't tell me that you didn't hear any of that feedback. Okay. Somehow you're going to tell me that flying them out and them telling you in person or over some sort of Skype call in some way is going to change the game or have some kind of a different outcome than saying it via content, right? Or giving it on the forums or giving it in partner chat or telling a CM directly and having the CMs tell you? You're telling me there's going to be some sort of different outcome? You're wrong. You're wrong. What they're doing is they want... It's a PR stunt. They fly them out. They show them a good time. They try to brush them up, reward their good behavior partners, their yes men, if you will. Then they fly back, and then all the changes that they make to the game, they can hail as, oh my god, they're listening to the players, right? Big W's, Perlibus, easy peasy. And then if they f up with the Calpheon ball, they can blame half of it on the player base. It's the truth. All right? Because what's going to happen is Choice and Divios give them feedback. Okay? They take the feedback, and then they say, okay, you told us to do A, we're going to do B. Right? They give us A, we're going to do B. Then they're going to give us B. Everyone's going to bitch about it, but then everyone can just blame the community for all of their problems. Right? Everyone can just blame the community for their problems. Guys, I got the quarterly earnings PowerPoint for BDO. Are we ready? Yeah, it's juiced. Here it is. The quarterly earnings for September to... It's November now. Well, I'm running it nice and close because see, now Blonde will be included in the Doomer content. Now he will be dumpster just like I am. Yeah. All the time. All right. Operating revenue. All right, let's take a look at this. All right. We all know that this shit is going to be bad. The question is how bad. We already know that they lost 5.6 million US dollars in revenue as compared to last year where they gained almost 10 million in the same quarter. So last year they gained 10 million in overall profit. And this year they lost 5.6. So like an overall discrepancy of like 15 million US dollars. So good. And then their operating costs are 6 times, or like, it's like 8 billion Korean won or 8.9 billion Korean won against 2.1 billion from last year. So it's been a little rough. But you see Black Desert PC console, new content. Yeah, we already know about all this stuff. Eve got some new stuff too. They're pretty happy. The Eve players, it's stuff to... Oh yeah, here we go, baby. Oh, that's the good shit. Operating revenue is down 6.4%. This is the big... If you guys don't know how to read charts and graphs, it's important to understand that number down bad. Yeah, number down really bad, guys. Remember, they were up 2.1 last year, and now they're down 9.2. That's pretty rough, guys. That's a really, really hard swing, right? From being up 1% to down 12%. That's rough. Net profit loss, you can see, again, they're down 7.8 here. I think that's billion Korean won, so 10% overall. If you compare that to, again, quarter 3 of 2023, they're up 14.8 billion Korean won, and now they're down 7.8. The swing is tremendous. Over 22 billion Korean won, which I think 22 billion Korean, yeah, in US dollars. That is 15.6 million US dollars that they've lost, or like that they've kind of like the discrepancy between last year and this year has been crazy. If you're wondering the revenue split by region, and we talk about this all the time, the revenue split by region, I know that this is kind of hard to read for players that American. Yeah, okay. So if you look at this, this is NAEU, Asia, and Korea. Okay. NAEU, Asia, and Korea. And you're looking at, okay, the little dot here, guys, is the key. The light blue is NAEU, the slightly darker is Asia, and the darkest is Korea. So you can say that NAEU across the board in every single quarter makes up about 56 to 60% of their revenue. Okay, so if they are down $15 million from last year, most of that is coming from us in all likelihood. Okay, where's SA? Who? Yeah. Revenue by platform, you can see that white is mobile, the dark is PC, and then if you look really closely, like you can see console's revenue share here, guys. If you just, it's right, it's squeezed. That's not two white dot. It's just, it's squeezed in there. It is like, it's really like. So PC is the vast majority of their revenue share. Console is tremendously small and are treated like third world citizens. Mobile actually makes them 20%, 21% of their overall market share at this point. Where the fuck is SA? Who? Yeah. Yeah, South America, who? Japan, who? Okay, so here's operating expenses. Here's their employees, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, sure. Live service, Black Desert, their Black Desert Festa. Console is the new class is Dosa. And keep in mind, they had to say Dosa because, like, console hasn't gotten anything new. Mobile's new class is the Kurenai, which I think is the Kunoichi. I could be wrong. PC China launch is October 24th. Wait, really? Wait, did it launch in China? Did Black Desert launch in China already? Chinese numbers would be Q4. Well, if it launched in October, October would be included in here. So that would be 6 days of the Chinese launch. I have to assume that China is making them a crazy amount of money. You're right. I don't see it on any of these graphs here, but I'm interested to see how much China is actually going to make them. It has to be a fortune, right, guys? Like, it's going to be like almost 85% of their market share the next time we see a report. Yeah. Like, literally, I can't wait for Q4 because we're going to get to see what China's impact on the game is moving forward. Check Chinese Steam. What is that? Growth strategy, existing IP expansion, eFrontier playtest, new IP, Crimson Desert. Yeah. So again, here's their growth strategy, guys. And I want to point out to all of the Black Desert players watching from around the globe that in their growth strategy as a company, they don't even mention changing Black Desert. They're changing EVE Online. There is no growth strategy for BDO. It's not even on the PowerPoint. It's just, yeah, so our plan is to release Crimson Desert and give EVE their next expansion. BDO is China. Big China. China release. That's what it'd say. The oldest game they have. EVE is technically older than BDO is. Consolidated financial statements. So here's all this stuff. Yeah. If you're wondering where I got this. Oh, wait.
안녕하십니까. 펄어비스 IR팀 김예은입니다. 먼저 바쁘신 와중에도 펄어비스 입장.
So you can go through the PowerPoint as there's like a recording of them talking about it, but I can't translate what she's saying, so I'm not going to bother with it. Like, we've seen enough on it, right, though? Like, everybody's seen enough. I'll link it in chat so that you guys can pass it around to your friends and families.